Ladies and gentlemen, members of the board, Mr. Superintendent, my name is Dennis Kelly. I'm president of the United Educators of San Francisco. The 7 speakers who follow me are all here to talk to you about class size. You made a decision on class size on March 24th at midnight. We had one person left in the room at that time who commented on it and asked you not to do it. We want you to know that increasing class size, we believe, and they will explain to you in greater detail, the damage that it can do. Today, the international tests for math and science came out, and the United States has maintained its trajectory of going up. We're not high, we're not in the top rung, but we are moving up. This year, for the first time, our African American students outpaced our white students. That means to me that we are doing something right. And the one educational reform that seems to work is class size reduction. It was started back in '82 in Tennessee. It came into this district in 1996. And as you can see, there are people among the throng that was here earlier who are still here because they believe class size reduction works. They're going to talk to you about an elementary perspective. We're not even talking to you about the 9th grade portion of it now. And we're not talking to you about our concerns that the contract does not allow you to do this because of things that tie it to Assembly Bill 311 and other things like that. We are concerned that the announcement on the increase in class size was made 2 weeks before the board acted. We are concerned that there are schools that have already staffed and been allocated students beyond 22. We know that there are students who will be retained in those classes also, which means that those class sizes will be pushed even higher. We're asking you to look at what you have done and take the action to reverse that and go back to what you had in place before. When you made the decision on the 24th, you said it had to be made because initially the announcement said because of money and because of space. You got another $1.5 million out of the city fund, and in your resolution it does not mention money. You did not do this because of money, according to your resolution. You did this because of space, and yet you've closed Cabrillo and you're going to use it as an office. You closed Sweat right across the street and you're using that primarily as offices, and you closed Golden Gate just down the street from us. So those things don't add up. Those things don't add up. You have the space out there. You have the space certainly at Cabrillo. You don't need to do this, and we ask you not to. Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent, Madam President, Commissioners. My name is Betty Robinson Harris, and I'm here just briefly to talk about how important it is to maintain the small class sizes in our K-3 classrooms. As a child development educator, I work with young children daily and clearly understand both the pleasures and the challenges of working with our youngest students. We all know that small classes are favorable and large classrooms are challenging. Maintaining small classes are critical to developing young minds because the first 7 years are the most important to the brain development. We know that by keeping small classes and developing the brains of young children, it will help in closing the achievement gap. I think that we have a responsibility to our students to keep the class size smaller. Just a little reminder that in a classroom setting, just one high-spirited student can radically affect your classroom dynamics. That child can determine how effectively you can cover your lesson plans, your goals and objectives for the day. In a recent report that San Francisco helped produce called Children Readiness for Kindergarten, one of the single things that hindered kindergarten teachers was self-regulation of children. Until all of our...
Can I ask you to wrap up your comments?
Thank you. I will. To put it in a nutshell, less is more. Thank you.
Hello, Susie Siegel. With all due respect, I thought I'd get a minute for each new kid I'm getting next year. Susie Siegel here hosting Sesame Street. Sing with me. Sunny day, sweeping the clouds away. On my way to where the air is sweet. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Today's number is brought to you by the number 2. 2 is such a wonderful number, except when you add it to 20. Then you have 22. 22 equals overcrowding in kindergarten. While Cookie Monster might think that is great to have 2 more cookies, kindergarten teachers think this is sad. And parents and district officials should too. This doesn't make learning as joyful as it deserves to be. 2 more shoes to tie, 2 more kids to find in the bathroom stalls, 2 more kids who need help cutting their Salisbury steak with a spork, 2 more kids who need Band-Aids, 2 more kids playing on the yard, 2 more kids to assess with no help, 2 more kids who would like to be read to, 2 more kids who would like a hug, 2 more kids with coats to be zippered, 2 more kids who want you to write their words, 2 more kids wanting to tell you what happened, 2 more kids wanting to play, 2 more kids whose safety is jeopardized, 2 more kids who deserve a chance. I wonder what happens when the number starts creeping to 23 and 25. Many classrooms such as mine are already slated to have 23. Next year there's no wiggle room, and it doesn't seem like we are being supported. Where is the guarantee that it will stop at 22? Why does early childhood always lose out when there's no money? Today's number should be brought to you by the number 20. You can do it. Stop at 20. Help us out here. We want sunny days to remain in our classroom. Let's hope we don't have to stay tuned for a new series, Cattle Call in Kindergarten.
Act to follow, but I'm going to do my best.
Thank you. So I'm just going to continue to call off names.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to add to this list of folks standing. So I have Liz Isaacs, Aaron Niemark, is it Paget? Paget. Thank you, Valence. Tell me the last name one more time. Valences. Thank you very much. Ophelia Perez, Catherine Wolf, and then I have Wilson Chu, P.B. Wu, Bayard Fong, Richard Au, Solomon Jones, and Bird Copey, and then Linda Plack. So please continue. Thank you.
My name is Catherine Wolf. I'm here to express my disappointment about the school board decision to increase class size. I teach first grade at a high-needs school. We are already overwhelmed with the enormous task of specialized and individualized instruction for underprepared students. Our progress in the past few years can be attributed to the generous QEIA grant that keeps all grades, especially upper grades and middle school classes, capped at 20. Now our teachers have been alerted that their classrooms will increase by 10%. The additional students will spread teachers' time and energy thinner, decrease available resources like literacy and resource teachers, and gouge the time each student spends in a small group. Larger classes will hinder our efforts to serve each student, diminish our power to put students on the right track of academic excellence, and burn out better teachers faster. It is unlawful and unethical to impose higher class size on QEIA schools. We cannot afford to sacrifice this precious grant money for any reason. In my school, in this district, throughout the state and the country, low class size improves academic achievement. Any movement away from that tenet by this district is absolutely unconscionable. I would like to leave my name and address so that each and every board member can send me a written brief citing the research and logic behind this decision. To whom may I do that, please?
You can leave your number with our secretary.
Who is that, please? I will attend to that immediately.
Thank you.
Thank you.